With Black Adam set to come to our screens later this year, DC fans are anticipating its release and most especially awaiting how the character would be developed, looking at how The Rock has been so enthusiastic to promote the movie on his social medias. Who's Black Adam, and why is The Rock receiving criticism for his role in the movie? Don't stray, as we'll be discussing the answers in this video. Are you ready? Let's start by exploring the lore around this eponymous character. The story of Black Adam would not be so complete if we do not consider his nemesis first. Captain Marvel, better known as Shazam now, first appeared in American Fawcett Comics in 1940, the company's most popular hero created by C.C. Beck and Bill Parker. By 1972, the character had become incorporated into the DC universe after a copyright infringement suit, and then a mutually agreed upon license. As the years went by, the character served as the most popular product in the company, even outselling Superman comics in the 1940s. Like Batman, he amassed for himself an iconic rogues gallery, chief of which were Mr. Mind, Dr. Sylvana, and you guessed it, Black Adam. Most of the controversy surrounding the decision for Black Adam as a standalone movie is centered on this phenomenon. What are their powers? You must know that among these three notable arch-nemesis, Black Adam is the only one amongst them that still retains a high level of prominence. He isn't much known to people who do not read comics, but to comic readers, he remains a popular character. After all, he did get his powers from the same wizard that bestowed Captain Marvel with his. Captain Marvel's alter ego, Billy Batson, was allowed to call upon 6 gods to be initiated by invoking their power with the enchanted word Shazam. The word, of course, is an acronym for the various gods that Captain Marvel can borrow his powers from. The S stands for Solomon, for whom he gets wisdom. The H stands for Hercules, from whom he gets strength. The first A stands for Atlas, for whom he gets unparalleled stamina. The Z stands for Zeus, for whom he gets his power. The second A stands for Achilles, from whom he gets his courage. And finally, the M stands for Mercury, from whom he gets his speed. Black Adam was created by C.C. Beck and Otto Binder in 1945 and first appeared in Fawcett Comics too. Unlike his nemesis, he is able to borrow powers from Egyptian gods rather than classical ones. He borrows his powers from gods Shu, Horus, Amon, Zehuti, Aten, and Mayhem, and still spells out Shazam too. And it's no surprise since he and Shazam are related. Despite being often linked to Shazam, he has in no way reminded in his shadow, as he is an icon, having made a name for himself now in the DC universe, and being ranked in 2009 as IGN's 16th greatest comic book villain of all time. What do fans think about Black Adam being a standalone movie? Despite Black Adam's fame in the comics, fans of both characters have been very vocal about their thoughts on the fact that Black Adam movie is a standalone one. This became very evident after Dwayne Johnson, when a few days ago, an article from the IndieWire revealed that both Captain Marvel and Black Adam originally had their origin stories intertwined in the same movie. According to this article, Dwayne Johnson fought hard and long to make sure that both these characters were given their own movies, a fact which he corroborated on a Twitter post where he said, "Original script had both Black Adam and Shazam establishing their origin stories in one film. I fought hard for both characters to have their own standalone films for the fans to enjoy and protect Black Adam's ruthless and extremely violent tone as we build out the DCEU." Fans of both characters immediately crowded his mentions, voicing their loud opinions on whether or not they approved. A few of them took hardline stances, reiterating that Black Adam was only a subset of the Shazam lore, and that Captain Marvel was the main character, and that Dwayne was hoping to incorporate and dominate the DCEU with his influence. For the record, we recognize both sides of the argument, but we want to put it out there that we find that specific argument kind of funny. Even if Steven Spielberg himself donned black tights with a yellow arrow embroidered into the chest, there's no way Black Adam would dominate any more than he should in a universe where more popular characters have cinched center stage. Dwayne Johnson has been on this project since about 10 years ago. According to sources, he received the script for a Captain Marvel movie that included Black Adam in it, and it felt it'd be a disservice to the character if he isn't given a standalone movie. And there are tweets as far back as 2014 in which he expressed his passion for the project and enthusiasm to play Kandak, the leader, on screen. Somehow the initial script made it to theaters as the 2019 movie Shazam, which sort of failed at the box office and didn't quite live up to the expectation. One thing became clear then, and that's that Shazam was incredibly lighthearted, a contrast from the gritty tones most other DCEU movies take. And considering the fact that The Rock tells anyone who is listening about the dark, bloody path his movie is going to take, we would admit that Black Adam actually would have looked out of place in the 2019 Shazam movie. And there's hope amongst fans that the two heroes might meet in some other story though. Again, Dwayne has some other plans regarding this. Something about how the hierarchy of power in the DC universe was going to change when the movie dropped. He doesn't seem to be interested in something facing off against Billy Batson, the boy wonder. Here, we'd put in a quote from one of his interviews. When you pull Black Adam out of the pantheon of superheroes in the DC universe, he is blessed with these incredible superpowers from the gods that rival Superman. The difference is, well, a few things. Number one, Superman's greatest weakness is magic. One of Black Adam's greatest superpowers is magic. His thoughts are clearly on Big Blue. Although it is clear that the present DCEU is annoyingly obtuse about what to do with Superman's character, Dwayne seems to be decided on the matter. He wants to beat him black and blue and establish himself as the new big bad in the movie. And this isn't lost on the fandom, movie watchers, or comic book readers alike. First of all, his passion is eagerly criticized. It's a thing of beauty to be passionate about a character you are going to play because it brings life to the character and layers the movie on so many levels. On the other hand, many consider Dwayne's passion to be various shades of inappropriate. Many think he seeks to overshadow other popular, established, and well-liked characters in the DCEU. Was Dwayne's intervention really appropriate? The opposition is weirdly strong, especially considering the fact that many didn't initially seem hyped about the movie. Their numbers certainly made an impression on us as we went through the comments on his post and then various other media outlets that have been drawn to the drama. Another bone of contention seems to be the fact that Black Adam is going to be portrayed as an anti-hero as opposed to the resolute villain he usually is portrayed as. Most people believe that this is a conflict with the source material and that it meant that DC was retconning the character into a new iteration that might look like a perversion of Black Adam we all know and love. The other dissenters make known their issue with the movie, that Black Adam is not a main player in the DC universe. There's no reason for him to have his own movie, there's no reason for him to be treated as a standalone character, and there's no reason for The Rock to be so passionate about him. To add insult to injury, Giant Freaking Robot gave an exclusive that implied that Dwayne was elevated from his lowly status as the main character in one movie and had been retained as an official advisor to the DCEU structure, responsible for deciding the path in which it was going to take. The veracity of these claims cannot be fully asserted, but choosing a celebrity who probably never read comics before he received the contract to decide what to give avid fans in theaters, suddenly the claims we earlier dismissed as ludicrous don't seem so any longer. The really ironic thing about this is that despite the outrage Dwayne Johnson evokes by overstepping bounds in the DCEU, most fans aren't all that interested in the movie itself. Is it just bad marketing and PR? Probably, but it might also have to do with the fact that Black Adam actually isn't all that popular, and there aren't very high hopes for the viewing of the movie when it comes out in theaters in October. This is aided by the fact that the hopes for the universe have been dashed by the cancellation of Batgirl movie because Warner Brothers is presently hustling funds. While not intentional, the studio seems hell-bent on putting the emotions of fans through an absolute meat grinder. The trailer of Black Adam movie seems okay. On the highs, we get to see the original Justice Society of America, including Dr. Fate and Hawkman. It looks engaging enough, but we still have to hold out till next month to really praise it or tear into it. How do you think the new movie will fare? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.